When I got out of the military, I had a hard time translating my military experience into the civilian world. I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for my wife, I probably would have been that homeless or impoverished vet. But it can be easier with the right support. I'm Mark Casper, and I'm the Executive Director of Tech4Troop's. In today's world, you have to have a computer to be able to apply for jobs. Our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce.
Here at Tech4Troop's, we're here to push you forward to get you back to where you want to be in life. When the veterans come in, I teach them everything you could think of that's done with a computer. I want them to feel that this is a tool that's going to help them get their life back.
I went into a kind of a deep depression. Eventually, I lost my job and I was out on the street. The computer was able to connect me to the web, and I was able to start putting resumes out. And you have to have these small building blocks to get from point A to point B. I'm not worried about employment anymore.
The need is great, and we want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
Welcome, everyone, to the Tech4Troop's Loudon 175. I am Rick Sousa, joined here in the booth with my co-host, John DeRudris, with the IWM Broadcast Network. We're very thankful for you to join us in this week between holidays, and we hope to have some exciting racing for you.
Yeah, Rick, it's going to be a fun evening here in Loudon for the Tech4Troop's Loudon 175, as these drivers will try to tackle this tricky track. I mean, New Hampshire is a wild place to race, and you have to have a good mix of strategy as well as knowledge of this track to run a smooth line. Right now, we're looking at your current pole sitter in qualifying, Mike Slatker, there in that number 14 Mountain Dew Camaro that just got surpassed by Joey Doucette, but he's kind of given us a good way around this 1 mile track. And Rick, I think it's going to be a really good race because these drivers, you know, every position counts, every point counts at this point in the season. So we're going to see some action here tonight.
So why don't we take a quick peek at the current standings, and then we can go over where the playoff positions are. So here's the current standings right now for in the Tech4Troop's league. So right now, Joey Doucette sits on top of the board, and Ryan Pittman, Hermas Castor, Holly Barletta, Chris Howell, Ian Ogden, Sean Schumann. These are the top 18 point getters right now. We'll flip over to get a few more here. And that's the current standings of the league itself. But I think more importantly, let's take a look at where we are in the playoffs. So, John, we've got the graphic right up now.
Yep, absolutely. And so Joey Doucette is taking charge, as well as Hermes Castro. They're the two strongest drivers this season. They've been consistently at the top of the board. But don't forget about your previous champion, Christopher Howell. Don't forget about those guys that have one win, like Ryan Pittman and Alexander Schumacher. And look at all of those other drivers there as well. You have a lot of top 10 drivers with Barletta and Ogden and Shootman there, all looking to get their first win. You have, Slackhurst running strong, Berube, Bostic, all these guys out here looking to get that first win. And that's where the point standings are after Chicagoland. And we'll see what happens after this race. Will we have a first-time winner? Will we have a repeat winner? Will we have a four-time winner? Well, got to stay tuned to figure that out live from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Qualifying is about to end here in about a minute, Rick, and it looks like the field is starting to kind of make their way to the end of this session.
Do you want to go through your keys to this race?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Let's do it, Rick. So right now, keys of the race. It's a tricky track, and you have to know a few things. You have to be able to know how to manage your tires here. You easy can burn them up on the front of a run. I would highly recommend not doing that and making these tires last as long as you can. Number two, corner entry and exit. We've seen some guys have some issues in practice with how they enter and how they exit the corners here at New Hampshire. So making sure to master that is key, as well as track position. I don't know if we're going to get a lot of cautions tonight, but what I do know is no matter if we do get cautions or not, track position is going to play a major role, especially on a long run here, to be able to win this race. So tire management, corner exit entry, and track position are your three keys to the race, and whoever's able to master those three will be the victor in tonight's Tech4Troop's Loudon 175. Rick, it looks like we have some track facts as well. 175 laps on this mile and a half, or mile oval, or paper clip looking style track. One quick repair and 4 sets of tires in addition to the one that they have on the car. So plenty of rubber for tonight's race, and track conditions are looking pretty strong here. And right now we're running 60% fuel, so they will have to pit. They will have to pit multiple times. And Rick, you mentioned that in pre-race when we were talking before we went live about pit road entrance. Speak on that a little bit.
Sure. I mean, since this is a really flat, it's a 1.03 mile track, as you had mentioned, similar to Martinsville, but really flat. So pit entry and pit exit on the front stretch is a little tricky getting in. These flat corners are tough getting out as well. So goes back to your keys of the race. This will be very interesting for these drivers.
It sure will. Well, it looks like we have the grid ready to go. Everybody's getting on to the point here, and let's bring up your starting lineup for tonight's Tech4Troop's Loudon 175. On the pole, your previous champion, Christopher Howell, there is your pole sitter with Joey Doucette, his teammate, to his outside. In third, you have another AJM driver with John Ledger trying to get a victory on the season, as well as the number 3 machine of Luke Bullard trying to bring home his first victory. In P5, you have Harley Barletta. In P6, Mike Sladker. 7th, Sean Shootman. 8th, Ian Ogden. 9th, Marco Berube. And rounding out your top 10, Ty Bostic.
On the outside, in the 11th position is a 24 of Zachary Allen. On his outside, Jeff Needy in the 40. Currently in 13th position, Pete Woodrum in the number 1 car. He's in 13th. Evan Amick in the 77 on the outside in 14th. Bobby Gibson in that Dr. Pepper 28 is in 15th. And Andrew Surwick is in 16th position in the 43. And on tail end of the pack is David Watts in the 54. He is in the 17th position. So stay tuned. We are about to go start our pace lap.
All righty, here we go. Let's see what these drivers are able to do here in the Tech4Troop's Loudon 175. You have a lot on the line here, a lot of point battles going on, a lot of close battles, and if you're on the outside looking in, this could be your race to bring home a victory. You know, first two positions in this race, Christopher Howell and Joey Doucette have 5 wins combined on the season, so make sure to pay attention to those two guys. But don't forget about Luke Bullard, Harley Barletta. He's been running strong and does not have a win. So we'll see who's able to bring home tonight's victory in the Tech4Troop's Loudon 175.
All right, pace car is getting us through turn 3, and we'll soon drop off off the racing surface as it brings these cars down the front stretch.
And here we go, Rick. Green flag is up in the Tech4Troop's Loudon 175.
All right. Hopefully these drivers got some good qualifying time in, and more importantly, more practice time this week, because this takes patience. Each turn, each corner entry and exit, you cannot push it. You've got to work that car in. You've got a long race ahead of you here, and you cannot really slam it into the corner or you will find yourself in the wall.
You will, and we saw some drivers do that very thing here on corner exit, especially out of turn 4. Their tires get heated up and they feel confident in their car, and next thing you know, you're sliding up the track and into the wall. Same thing out of turn 2. Oh, a little loose out of there, Christopher Howell. You saw that up front. Already getting some loose conditions here early on.
I've got 4 11-11 drivers right there in front. Howell, Ledger, Doucette, Barletta.
A little loose.
That's the 19.
Yep, Joey Doucette lost a lot of time. Or my bad, that's John Ledger, rather.
John Ledger
lost a lot of time right there. And you saw it. These cars can get loose and get loose quick. And that cost him his second place spot. So now there's a major gap between first and second right now. We have more battles going on all over the track. Some more cars getting loose. The 14 of Mike Slatker getting a little bit loose there. The 3 all the way up the track here in turn 1 and turn 2, trying to find some traction.
So that 19 has worked its way all the way back to 12th position. We've got a field of approximately 17 drivers here tonight. We're thankful that they were able to turn up, and for all of those listening to the IWM broadcast.
Oh, there goes John. Oh. John's going around. He's on the apron. Compton is out.
We got him. We saw that.
Well, Rick, we are starting off strong. 1 for 1 today. 1 for 1 on the broadcast crew. Congratulations to a fantastic cameraman there that was able to catch that.
That's right. So I think also there was another incident with Bobby Gibson. Let's go back and take a look at that. That's the Dr. Pepper 28 right there. Let's see if I think Bobby may have also been bitten by that corner bug. Let's see what we've got here.
It's that transition. It's transition from the bottom portion of the track to the top. Oh, does he hit the inside wall? Oh, hard hit for the 28 Dr. Pepper machine.
Oh, yeah, significant damage on that vehicle. All right, so we're under our first caution with just 5 laps in the books. It's just a challenging track, and these guys will have to figure it out.
Yep, and that's, that was one of my key to the race was, in fact, entry and exit. And we saw right there both drivers in both of those situations getting loose at both points in the corner. So it's a very difficult track to master, and it's a long race, 170 laps here. It's it's grueling. That's all I got to say. It's a grueling 175. But it takes time to learn. It takes time to get around this track. And it'll come around to some of these guys once the race starts to unfold. But right now, it looks like Christopher Howell is your leader with Joey Doucette in second, Barletta in third, Slatker in fourth, and Luke Bullard rounding out your top 5.
So, again, as we were talking about earlier, you've really got to have some patience here Yeah, and the other part is muscle memory. You know, being able to know exactly at what point is your braking zone and your corner entry, where it hits your marks. If you are not repeatedly hitting your marks during the course of this race, you're going to make mistakes, and these are mistakes that can bite you bad.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and it's just a track that, like you said, muscle memory is the way to survive, to know when to turn in, the amount of turn in you need in the middle of the corner and in the entry and exit, because it's all kind of different. Throttle control, braking control, not slamming on the brakes or slamming on the gas. I mean, it's all muscle memory from your steering wheel to your pedals, and it's one of the most challenging on the racetrack, and we've seen that early from some of the best out here. So hopefully they're able to get this thing back up and going here soon. 8 laps into this 175 lap event, and since it's a caution, I'm bringing back my track facts. So for the first track fact for tonight is going to be around the first victor here at, well, let me rephrase this, the first pole sitter to find victory here. So if anybody is out there and is listening and watching and you know the answer to this, drop it in the chat. I'm going to give you the answer probably before you can respond because of, text delays and technology. But did you know, or do you know who the first NASCAR driver was in the Cup Series to be a pole sitter, and that pole sitter goes on to win that same race?
Hold on to that thought. See, we'll get right back to you. We are joined here in the booth by Jason Parker with Tech4Troop's. Jason, are you there?
Yeah, I am here. How are you guys doing tonight?
We're doing great. We're here with our first caution of the night. We're about to go back to green in a moment, but wanted to bring you into the chat, especially since you've got an award to give out tonight.
I really appreciate it. We are back with our scheme skirmish on the Speedway. So if you're already running paints, I have been looking. I will be giving out a $5 Amazon gift card to what I deem the best, either best design or one that's really highlighted Tech4Troop's. Just something fun as we go through the race.
All right, we'll be looking forward to that, and jump back in any time and let us know when you've made a decision.
Awesome, I really appreciate it. You guys, it's already off to a good start. I think we're in for some fun.
I think we are too. All right, that's Jason Parker with Tech4Troop's, and we thank him for joining us here in the booth. And we are back under green here with lap 10.
Here we go. Christopher Howell has made his way with a little bit of a lead right now in front of his teammates, Barletta and Doucette there. So he's looking to bring home his third victory on the season. And if you had some time to think about that question under caution, it was, the question was, who was the first driver to be the pole sitter and to win in the same race here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway? Who was the first person to do that? Well, to give you a little bit of a hint, happened back in 1998, and that driver was my favorite driver, Jeff Gordon. So Jeff Gordon was the first driver to be the pole sitter and to find victory lane in the same race here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So that's your caution number one track back, because we have some drivers get a little bit loose. But you expect some more track backs. I got a couple lined up here for us, and hopefully I won't have to use them, but if we do, we'll have some Jeopardy-style questions going on late in the race. So we'll see what happens. But right now, Rick, it looks like Howell's out front with Barletta in second, Slapter in third, Joey Doucette in fourth, and Luke Bullard rounding out your top five, and we may have another caution.
We do. Evan Amick may have gotten into a little trouble there. My guess is it may be at the same location. Let's double check here. We're watching the 77. See.
Oh, there's a flat part of that track getting another overcorrected. Hard impact into the solid concrete wall for that 77 machine. There's no safer barrier there. So a hard impact for Evan Amick.
Well, and if this is your first time joining us, certainly I think that there's a couple facts you probably would like to know, and that is, how did that car just get back on the track so quickly? And it doesn't look like he's got much damage. Well, with this league, like many leagues here on iRacing, we allow each driver a quick repair. What that means is they get a do-over. They can come back in and they can get a fresh car with no damage and get back out there. But it only happens once. So you've got that one opportunity to get your car fixed and back repaired, and then get back up on the track. After that, you make that same mistake again, you're going to be waiting for damage to be repaired, or you may be out for the race. So it looks like Evan may have taken advantage of that quick repair and get his car back underway.
Sure. Absolutely. With that hard of an impact to the outside wall, I mean, his engine would be basically shot at this point. So good call on that one. And yeah, quick repairs can be saviors, but also it looks like early in the race could be kind of trouble depending on what happens later in the race, because you won't have one available. But anyways, back to some action on here on the track. Bobby Gibson got the lucky dog around 5. We may be getting one to go this next time by, depending on race control. But I have another track fact for you that I will answer and give you the answer to once we go back to green. But do you know which driver was the only driver to win from last place here at New Hampshire? He started in last, made his way through all the way to the front, and won the race from last place. I'll give you a little bit of a hint. It happened in 2001. So if you know that answer, drop it in the chat. Or let me see, Rick, do you have a guess? Do you maybe think who could possibly be that one driver?
Oh, no, I'm leaving it up to you and our viewers.
Probably a good one. Let's see. I have a couple of responses. It looks like somebody in our IWM broadcast network said Jeff Gordon to the first question, and that was correct. And then Castro said Jimmy Johnson. Close. They were teammates, but not quite on that first question there. And yes, thank you, Mr. Castro. I'm glad to be back. Glad to be back up here in the booth and being up here with Rick and seeing all these guys on the track. And wish we could see that. And got Castro dropping an answer here into the chat. He says Robbie Gordon is his answer. So we'll see if that is correct once the green flag flies. But right now, that question still stands. So if you're watching along, drop a comment, specifically on YouTube. That is what I'm looking at right now.
Well, I can say Alonzo King commented here on Facebook. Was it Burton? So we'll see if that's the right answer when we go back to green. We are currently formed back up. The lights are off on top of the pace car. That means we are about to go back to green flag racing.
Yes, it does.
So 160 laps to go, 16 in the books here at Loudon or New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Alrighty, pace car makes his way down pit road. Green flag is going to be back in the air here at New Hampshire for the Tech4Troop's Loudon 175. Howell out front with Barletta in second now, Slatker in third, Doucette in fourth, and Bullard right there in the fifth position. And right now, you have 3 hungry dogs behind, or 4 hungry dogs rather, or 3 really in the top 5, behind Howell there, because Howell has 2 wins, Doucette has 3 wins, but Barletta and Slatker and Bullard are still looking for their first win of the season. And, let's give a shout out to Slatker really quick. He's played a amazing season so far. He's been in every single race and has continuously improved, and he's putting the heat on one of the best right now with Harley Barletta right in front of him. And you know what? I'm gonna kind of keep myself quiet now because he got loose right when I started talking about him. So keep on doing what you're doing there, Mike. I'm not gonna say anything else, but shout out to him for an improving season, and see if he's able to bring home a win here.
All right, so here are lap 19 of 175. We are watching Christopher Howell take this field around, continuing to set this pace. Harley Barletta is in second. Mike Slagter in third. Joey Doucette in fourth. Luke Bullard in fifth. Ty Bostic in sixth. Ian Ogden in seventh. Sean Shipman in eighth. Andrew Serwick in ninth. And John Ledger is sitting in 10th.
And, it's a green flag, which means I'm going to give the answer to my caution number 2 question. So the question was, who was the last driver, who was really the only driver in New Hampshire / Loudon history to start in the last position in the tail end of the field and make his way up to win the race? And that happened in 2001. And the answer was not Burton, but it was another Gordon, and it was actually Robbie Gordon. So, Castro, you were right. Robbie Gordon was the only driver to do that. Ken Zith was a good guess, wild man, and so was Burton. But Robbie Gordon, the first and only driver in New Hampshire Motor Speedway history to start from the back and make his way all the way to the front and win. So stay tuned for more questions from myself. We'll see what I can...
Yep. Well, we're hoping that there aren't that many cautions, but we are prepared.
We are prepared. I have about 4 or 5 left, so I may have to get creative after that.
We'll have to look for other means of information and information.
Yeah.
So we are back here, and thank you for tuning in to the Tech4Troop's Cup Series here at Loudon at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We've got 17 drivers here, all continuing to scramble for a playoff opportunity. Past this race, we only have one more event before we get into the playoffs.
Yeah, and right now you're looking at a lot of hungry dogs out there behind Howell. I mean, Barletta having a great run so far, looking for his first win in that number 81 machine. One of the only AJM drivers to not have a win here this season. And him and Ledger are both looking for something there. Mike Slatker there in third. He's on the prowl. Right behind him is the 11 of Doucette. He's won a few times, I believe. Actually, he's the pole or the point standings leader. So, he knows what he's doing back there. Luke Bullard, he's been right there really in the top 5 to top 10 every single race. Sometimes there's been some incidents that he's involved in, but he's looking to get his first win of the season. So this could be one of those races, Rick, where somebody wins to get into the playoffs that's maybe outside, and secures their spot.
So you've got a couple guys, Andrew Serwick, Ty Bostic sitting at the edge of the 12th spot, where we take 12 drivers as part of the playoff. So, there's definitely an opportunity here for someone to win their way in, and certainly there's a number of drivers who are below that cutoff. The David Watts, the Pete Woodrums, the Marco Berubis, the Jeff Ninis, the Zach Allens. All of those guys have opportunities here that could win, could drive themselves into the field or win their way in. So
Exactly.
All right, 150 laps to go. We've got 25 in the books here at Loudon. We have nobody really who has entered the pits. All these guys are on their first set of tires. They've got 4 sets after this, and tire wear will begin to play. This is an older track, and I don't know why I said that. An older track, and the it's not fair to those tires. It will definitely put some major wear. So I'm thinking around right now, lap 25, 26, 27. We had a couple cautions that may have delayed that impact to the tires, but certainly by lap 30, these guys are going to think they're on ice.
Oh, for sure. It's going to start to happen, and we've already seen that right now with Mike Slatker there and Joey Doucette. Joey Doucette is putting the heat right now on that number 14 machine, and we'll see what that number 11 is able to do. Already has 3 wins on the season. The current point leader now going to the inside of the 14 here out of turn 4. Strong move by that 11 machine going down into turn 1. Let's see if he's able to make the pass. 14 of Slacker up on the high side, still battling there, and the 11 has passed him. So move Joey Doucette into third place, right behind his AJM teammates of Barletta and Howell.
All right, this field is beginning to spread out. Oh, Bobby Gibson may have gotten into an incident all by himself, but
See some smoke there.
yeah, he has jumped back into the pits at that point. He just towed instantly, so no caution came out.
Looks like everybody's able to kind of get their form in right now. Everybody seems to get their respected line going, and right now Joey Doucette looks to be one of the fastest cars on the track, starting to catch his teammate Harley Barletta, who is still looking for a win, with Christopher Howell out front. But don't look too far back. Serwick is making his way up through the field. So is Sean Shootman. Ty Bostic has kind of entered the picture there. He's slowly making his way back up to the field. But right now, Christopher Howell is on point.
So we got the comment from Alonzo King, who's not able to make tonight's race, but he said shifting and diamonding the corner will help out a lot with this package and this race. I thought I just
Luke
saw...
Bullard in the infield. Yep, Luke Bullard.
Did he save it? Or was that... That wasn't Evan Amick, was it?
I don't know whoever that was, but they were making a beeline towards the inside wall. And whoever saved it, that was very impressive. Whoever it was. Because I saw the same thing you did, Rick.
Let's ride on board with someone. Maybe we can let's ride on board with maybe Christopher Howell. We can see just how he is, if he is shifting his way through this through a lap. Let's take a look. So right now we're on board with Christopher Howell. He is in fourth gear as we're about to cross the start-finish line. He did upshift.
There it goes, back down.
Yeah. Oh, he's a little loose as well.
It's exactly what Alonzo was saying.
Running
dominating
up
the corner
on the 54 of David Watts. And do you want to explain? We've got a number of viewers out there may not exactly know what diamonding a corner means, John.
Absolutely. So diamonding a corner basically means you dive down to the lower line on corner entry, you drift your way up to the top or middle section or middle lane of the track in the middle of the corner, and then make your way back down to the bottom portion of the corner on corner exit. So it's basically bottom, middle, bottom, or sometimes on certain tracks, depending on where you are, especially in road course racing, you can see this a lot, going from the bottom portion of the track all the way up to the top, then back to the bottom. So the goal is to carry as much speed as possible. Oh, big wreck out of turn 4. Looks like that is involving 3 drivers right there.
Zachary Allen, Marco Berube. Let's go. Let's see if we can find out just what happened there. This is the 24 of Zachary Allen. Losing control out of turn 4. Winds up sideways.
There goes Jeff.
Not sure where Marco Berube, that may have just been by himself. Let's see if we can also see what brought out that caution.
Yep, there was some definite 100% contact.
So that was what brought out that caution. Let's find out what happened to Marco Berube. This is Marco in the 99.
Yep, there's a spinning 24 up there. And here, look, the same thing happened right in front of him
That's the
And
14.
there's nowhere to go.
Of
There's
Mike's-
nowhere to go.
That's not the 14. I'm not sure just who that is.
I do actually. I don't know.
The 77.
Is that-
Nope.
Is that the one? That may be the one of Pete Woodrum.
That is the one. Yep, he's got that number that's up. It almost looks like a 7, but yeah, that is the one of Pete Woodrum. So a number of drivers, and then there we go. All right. Our third caution of the night collects a couple of drivers, Marco Berube, Pete Woodrum. You saw the 24 spin of Zachary Allen.
Yep. So that's going to bring down maybe some drivers down pit road. We'll see. But as this is our third caution of the night, this is going to be John's third caution question here for the Tech4Troop's Loudon 175. So, do you know who the oldest driver was? How old he was? Well, I'm not going to say how old he was because that was, you can't guess that. But do you know who the oldest driver to win at New Hampshire Motor Speedway was? Do you know who that driver was? And to give a hint, he was 50 years old when he won at New Hampshire back in 2009. So there's two big hints there. So 2009, 50 years old. Who was the oldest victor here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway in the Cup Series?
There's already one guess in. We'll wait to see if others, because we've got other streams coming in here, and thank you for following along with the IWM broadcast that is appearing on YouTube, Facebook, as well as Twitch. We thank you for tuning in, and let's see. There's a couple of guesses, a couple of guys who have, a couple of folks who have offered a guess.
Looks like we have a couple guesses coming in. Looks like this is the same answer across the board. I see a lot of Mark Martins.
Oh,
is that correct?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. No guesses right now from our Facebook crew. Just a number of guys here on YouTube. Well, that's lap 40. We are back, forming back up here, about to get back under green. Chris Howell is our control car and leading the way. Lights are off on the pace car.
Yep, about to make its way down. Here we go for our fourth start/restart of the race, and green flag is out. And Christopher Howell is waiting no time to get out to the front here at Loudon. Here goes the 19, dive bombing into turn 1, made it stick. A lot of action in the back of the pack. You have Jeff Dania Pye with
spinning. That's the 99, I think.
I believe it is.
That's Marco Berube in the grass.
Kept it straight.
He held it.
And we have Luke Bullard all the way to the high line of the track here.
Three wide.
Oh, there's Jeff to the inside. He's able to save it.
He bailed. I think he was in that sandwich earlier on.
I believe it was. Yes, you are correct. And here we go. A lot of drivers stacking up there on the higher side of the track. Alrighty. 24 is dropping down to the inside of the 19 of Ledger with the
21 of Ian Ogden in front.
Yep.
Oh, a big aggressive move. That is the 3 of Luke Bullard.
A lot of drivers making a lot of moves early, and that's what's going to be key is track position. They're trying to fight it all out right now early in the run. Because as they know, as this race progresses, it's hard to pass here. It's one of the hardest places to pass because the corners are so uneven. I mean, you go down into turn 1 and you think you're on the bottom side, you have a lot of traction, but you can't get any turning. You go to the high side, you lose a lot of ground, but you get such a great run off. So it's just a it's a matter of trying to figure out what works. 24 found something right there, getting by the 22 machine. That puts the 24 of Zachary Allen to P5.
Definitely moving it up. And Angela has commented, good luck, drivers. And also, let's go, Dave. She's pulling for the 54 of David Watts.
Alrighty. Good to have you watching along, Angela, as always. And
So,
to answer...
I was going to say, it's time for an answer. These guys are waiting with bated breath.
Exactly. So, to give the answer of who the oldest driver was to ever win here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway back in 2009 at the young age of 50 years old, it was, in fact, Mark Martin. So a lot of diehard fans out there, they know these facts, or maybe they're looking them up on Google as I ask these questions. Maybe I'm giving them too much time there, Rick. Maybe they're cheating a little bit. No, I'm joking. Hermes Castro, 3 for 3. So he's done a great job so far answering all these questions. So well, let me rephrase that. He is 2 for 3. He guessed Jimmy Johnson on the first one.
So,
I don't know any of those answers that Angelin says.
You know what, Angelin, this is an opportunity, as we all can learn more about. You may be questioned at a bar for a beer.
It could be. You never know. Maybe it'll show up on Jeopardy. Maybe it'll show up
NASCAR
somewhere.
Jeopardy.
NASCAR Jeopardy. Has that ever been a thing, Rick?
It is now.
Ever done it is now. So here at the IWM Broadcast Network, we're going to bring you your first NASCAR Jeopardy live every Wednesday at 7:30 East or 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern.
So Hermes Castro basically just said because Mark is old. That's probably a very logical way. That's the Occam Razors answer right there. That's what that is.
I mean, very, 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 very good answer there, Hermes. Love that. So right now, I got to find another fact. I may go the opposite way on that question. Not going to give any hints to what the question may be, but if you pay attention to that last question, you can kind of insinuate what I meant by opposite. So I'll ask that question when the fourth caution comes out. But until then, Christopher Howell is out front with his teammate Joey Doucette right behind him. Zachary Allen now up to P3, passing Slatker and Barletta for fourth and fifth.
Absolutely. Zachary Allen is our big mover of the day so far. He is up to third. Andrew Serwick, also +9. He is up to eighth. He started in last.
Yeah, both of those drivers are needing a win, especially Allen. Allen was involved in that previous caution. And Brian Rainville said Logano is the next answer. Well, Mr. Rainville, you don't have to spoil my parade. Okay, I know you're pretty smart, and yes, that is actually the answer. So 30% mark here, I'm going to give the question. Who was the youngest driver to win at New Hampshire? Brian Rainbow absolutely said Logano, so now I'm not going to give any more hints to any future questions, so there's no spoilers out there. But yes, Logano was the youngest driver to win at New Hampshire at a nice young age of 19 years old. So,
I think someone has the same cards as you do.
I think they do. I may need to investigate here because this is getting a little bit fishy.
Is there a NASCAR Against Humanity cards or?
No, if not, then that's going to be another game we coin here on the IWM Broadcast Network. So, pretty sure we could get some great cards for that.
All right, folks. Let's just give you a quick update. We are on lap 51 of 175. Christopher Howell continues to show us the way. Joey Doucette in second. Zachary Allen has moved up to third. Mike Slagder in fourth. Harley Barletta is in fifth. And just so you know, stay tuned. We've got to jump to a commercial from our series sponsor, Tech4Troop's. But you won't miss a thing. We're going side by side. So stay right there. We'll be right back.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech4Troop's, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back
Speedway. Hint. 2 drivers share the top spot. I am looking for both drivers. First and last name, please. So that is the question. Who has the most wins here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway in the Cup Series?
So give it some time to think or Google. And
Brian does no Google.
no Google for you. We are currently here in our 5th caution in the Tech4Troop's series here at Loudon, New Hampshire. Our control car right now is Joey Doucette in that 1111 project car number 11, followed by Christopher Howell. Andrew Serwick has made his way plus 14 positions. Andrew has made it up from starting in last place up to 3rd. Mike Slagner is now in 4th. Marco Berube survived that earlier issue, and now he is up to 5th. Jeff Nini up to 6th. Harley Barletta to 7th. Ty Bostic in 8th. Zachary Allen in 9th, and Pete Woodrum is sitting in 10th. Luke Bullard is our last car on the lead lap, and Luke is sitting in 11th.
And just to make it a little bit easier on the crowd out there, you can have one. Well, I'll take 1 out of the 2. They share the same amount of wins. So if you get one of them right, I'll give you credit for the question. So, but if you can get both, you get double points. So maybe I need to keep some scores for this kind of thing, and maybe some kind of prize at the end of the race. I don't know. That's for future races to discuss.
Well, we'll put that on the agenda for next week. John, where are we going to be next week? Do you recall?
Actually, I don't recall, but I do recall seeing the pace car drop down, and we have the green flag. And as the race started, Doucette and Howell make up make up 1st and 2nd, and they are P1 and P2 right now. I'm going to be looking up where we are at next week.
I think it's at a big super speedway.
I believe so. You're in fact correct, and we have a car in the infield that is a 99 of
Marco Berube.
Yep. And it looks like next week we are at my favorite track, Talladega. So interesting, Rick. Interesting. An appearance, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, back to green flag racing here. 78 out of 175 complete, under 100 laps to go here at this point. And it looks like Doucette and Serwick are now 1 and 2 with Howell in P3. And Retrowave Dave, yep, that is correct.
Well, it's not the end of the
for the playoffs.
Yes.
Last race for the playoffs. And so, since we are green flag racing, I'm going to give you the answer to the question in the previous caution. So, what drivers hold the record for most wins here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway? Well, it's not Tony Stewart, it's not Joey Logano, and it's not Denny Hamlin. The answer is actually Kevin Harvick and Jeff Burton. They both hold 4 wins here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, which is the most wins out of any other not active driver, but any other driver in NASCAR history. So, Mr. Burton and Mr. Harvick are your answers. So, stumped y'all again. Oh, haha. I like this. I'm starting to get some wins in my category now as the question asker. So, but good guesses, though. Hamlin's a great one. He has 3, I believe. Logano's always strong here. Same thing with Stewart. He was also strong. We have a wreck. Oh, big hit for the 22 machine.
Ty Bostic is involved. That's unfortunate. We're just watching Andrew Serwick really put on a show, getting back up now into 2nd position. Let's go back and see what happened to Mr. Bostic. Oh, contact with the 40 of Mr. Jeff Nini. Let's back that up. And Barletta is right there behind him. It's an earlier contact there. So let's take a look at this. So he's right there on that left rear quarter panel. So the 40 came down a bit, probably not realizing the 22 was right there. A little bit of contact. The 40 tries to come back down again, catches the 22. They are definite contact. At that point, the 22 cannot hold it. Hopefully he holds it, doesn't slingshot back up. I'm not sure whether it's going to, well, that's not good.
But wait for this hit right now. Huge hit for the 22 machine. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
Oh,
Boom.
not too bad.
Yep.
The 19 tapped him.
John Ledger.
John Ledger. Yep. All right.
So this is our sixth caution rather of the evening, which means I'm going to ask question number 6. This is actually extending outside of NASCAR, so I'm really testing your knowledge here. Who who has the track record? Okay, who holds the fastest lap here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway? And the hint is it is not in NASCAR. This is across all disciplines of motorsports. What driver holds the record for the fastest lap here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway? To give a little hint, it happened in 2011. So it's been a little while. But what driver, I mean, even if you don't know the driver, what discipline, so what series and what aspect of motorsports, such as Formula One, IndyCar, Trans Am, NASCAR, any kind of those, what series has the fastest lap here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway? Either one I will take.
So Jason's thrown out something to do on dirt. Not quite sure. They put down dirt here?
I mean, they could, I guess. Do they do that? I didn't know that.
I don't think so. But I don't believe that is the fastest. But they do run everything from Indy to modifieds. They do run late model, super stocks. They run a lot of different classes of vehicles here. Not all of them related to NASCAR.
That's correct. That is correct. So make this a two-part question. So we'll see. We'll see what some of these guys say. Some say Indy, some say modifieds. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if we get any other questions. Castro's is been one of the most responsive. I appreciate that, sir. Same thing with Wild Man. Appreciate you. So if you have any thoughts, IWM says a modified driver. So we'll see. Interesting take. Okay. So two for modifieds, 2 for Indy. So we'll see which one is right. But it looks like, Rick, with 91 to go, we have 1 to go right now, and Joey Doucette is on point with Surrick and Slacker and Howell and Jeff Nanee all the way up in P5 as it stands.
Looks
right
like
now.
Ian Ogden got his lap back and is now on the last car on the lead lap. You're watching the IWM Broadcast Network. We are broadcasting the Tech4Troop's Loudon 175. About to take the green flag. And we are back underway here at Loudon.
Green flag is out again with 90 to go. 11 cars on the lead lap and only 1 winner, as the 11 is your leader here.
It's like the 43 of Andrew Surwick is on the outside of Joey Doucette, trying to get by him.
Surwick has the position. They're going to battle side by side still. Going down to the turn 1 is Doucette going to shut the door? I don't think so. Surwick battles strong on the high side in that 43 car. Not 43 position. Still side by side.
Well, that's a great testament that you can run a high line here at Loudon and hold it.
Oh, you sure can. And you know what? I prefer it. I prefer that mid to upper lane where the track surface changes. That is, 43 in the wall. I would actually prefer that line over the low line.
Freddie Durstock is watching and says hello. He's joining us on Facebook.
Hey, Freddie, glad that you're joining along. Oh, and we have a caution out, so I'm going to give the answer after we cover this caution. Now, I got to find a new question, Rick. I wasn't expecting that quick.
Go ahead. We're going to drop off to commercial. We'll cover Mike Slagter when we come back from the commercial. Stay tuned, folks. We will be right back.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech4Troop's, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers to get back in the workforce. We want to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Tech4Troop's Loudon 175. We're just now under caution. We're going back and reviewing what happened. I think it's right here with Mike Slagter. That's the 14 right there. Again, that's corner coming off of turn 2. Full head of steam.
He did the right thing there just to kind of back that thing down as close to the apron as he could, because he had some fast drivers approaching him there on the track. So to answer the 6th caution question, for caution number 6, I see one correct answer. Actually, I see 2 correct answers. It was Scott Dixon in the IndyCar. So Retrowave Dave, as well as Bright Marksman, you're correct. Scott Dixon ran in the IndyCar a 22:34 back in 2011. 22 seconds around this track.
Paul Valentine had that he was sniffing out, had to be Indy or modified. It was definitely Indy. So
it definitely was. And just to put that into perspective, that is 8 seconds faster than these guys are running right now on the track. So that extends my 7th question of the night. Who holds the track record for the Cup Series? Hint, happened in 2021. So who holds the record for the Cup Series here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway?
For the fastest lap?
For the fastest lap, yes, correct. For the fastest lap, yes. Definitely not a 22-second lap, I can tell you that right now. These cars would definitely not make it around here in 22 seconds. But, if you're a Ross Chastain and you have, unlimited money and can tear up cars, and you could maybe do it. I don't know. We'll see. But as it stands right now, you have Surwick out front in that 43 Jameson machine, followed by Joey Doucette in 2nd, Chris Powell in 3rd, Jeff Denny in 4th, Harley Barletta in 5th, Luke Bullard in 6th, Zachary Allen in 7th, Ian Ogden in 8th, Mike Slacker in 9th, and Marco Berube rounding out your top 10.
Well, this is exactly what Andrew Surwick needs. He is now our control car, and he is currently right there on the bubble, sitting in 13th place with the points. So for him to come out here and get a win, that would be huge. That would vault him into the playoffs.
Oh, absolutely. That would be fantastic for him to do that. And it's one of those races where I think somebody could win. We could get a first-time winner, especially somebody on the bubble of making the playoffs. So Surwick proving to be one of the favorites here as of late, but don't look too far back. You have Jeff Denny there. You have Luke Bullard, Barletta still in the mix, Allen still in the mix. It's a lot of single, or first-time winners, as it would be if they won the race here, alongside Doucette and Howell. So we'll see what happens. Got some names dropping in here. We got Eric Almirola, Brad Keselowski, and Denny Hamlin. Top 3 answers have entered the board.
So we are on lap 84 laps to go. We're on lap 92 of our scheduled 175 here at New Hampshire. I want to thank you for tuning in. The pace car has dropped off, and Andrew Surwick takes them down to get the green flag, and we are back into green here at Loudon, New Hampshire.
Here we go. Surwick taking charge, leading Doucette and Howell out of turn 2. Got some battling going on between the 3 machine and the 21 of Ogden. Oh, Jeff Denise out wrecking. Oh, there goes a 3 as well. Caution is out.
Well, that brings our 8th caution of the night. Let's go back and take a look. Let's pause this. Oh, let's back that up. Looks like, so I think this is too full. Let's watch this again, John. So I'm watching the line. So Jeff, maybe as he's coming out of turn 4, he gets a little loose right there. I think that little bit of being loose causes him to slow a bit, and the 3 winds up right there.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, wrong place, wrong time for the 3 machine. It happened so fast that it's hard to stop and really gain your composure again to not get into that driver and avoid him. So unfortunate for those 2 drivers. Hopefully they're able to get it back around and have a quick repair. But that brings out our 8th caution of the evening, I believe. Yep, 8th caution. So going back to caution number 7, the question was, who has the fastest lap in the Cup Series? Who owns that record here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway? It's not Denny Hamlin. And no, Castro, it is not Eric Almirola. Retrowave Dave, you're correct. You have Brad Keselowski. He owns the fastest lap here with a 29.8 in the 2021 Foxwood Resort Casino 301 here at New Hampshire. So I got to find another question, and this I'm going to make a little bit tougher. We're going to stick with the lap times here. Who has the fastest lap in the Xfinity Series here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway? Fun fact, it happened this year in 2021. So who owns the record in the Xfinity Series for the fastest lap here at New Hampshire?
All right, so we are back under caution, our 8th caution of the evening. Andrew Serwick is currently showing in first place and will be our control car on this restart. Joey Doucette sits in second. Christopher Howell in third. Harley Barletta, Ian Ogden. That is 11-11 sitting in 2, 3, 4, and 5. Zach Allen is back up to 6th place. Mike Slagder is in 7th. Marco Berube in 8th. Pete Woodrum is in 9th, and Sean Shipman is in 10th. Jeff Neeney is in 11th. He was currently involved in that incident, and he comes out. John Ledger and Luke Bullard are in the pits and are making their way back up onto the field.
Ready, we have a couple answers falling in. We got 54 of Gibbs. Castro says Ty Gibbs. Rainfield then follows up with Gibbs. Wildman, Gibbs, and Retrowave Dave says Bain. So Gibbs or Bain are your top 2 answers right now on the board. Gotta say, 2 very strong picks. I have to say, those are 2 very good answers.
They
2
are.
very good
They
guesses. We'll see. We'll see which one is correct once we get the green flag and a couple laps under these drivers' belts. So right now, Rick, let's talk about where we are in the race. We have 78 to go. The first run, these drivers were able to make it around 58 to 65 laps. So with 78 to go, what is the strategy here? Do you hit with like 60 to go? Do you try to pull the stint out as long as you can? What are your thoughts on the strategy?
Well, we saw right now Andrew Serwick and Christopher Howell, they were able to turn 70-plus laps without pitting.
Right.
So there's 78 to go. If they can make it on fuel, then I'd say go for it. But my guess is, the way we've seen these cautions come in and out, they're going to have an opportunity to come back down. So here we are back under green at Loudon for the Tech4Troop's Loudon 175. Andrew Surwick leads them through turns 1 and 2, but he has a pack of 11 cars on his tail.
He does, and we have some a lot of battles going on right now. Going down in the turn 3, you have the 14 battling there with the 77. Or my bad, not the 77, the 37. And now mostly everybody is single file as the 11 putting the heat on the 43 machine of Andrew Surwick for that lead position for P1. Here we go. Oh, 11's a little bit loose on the inside.
He saved it.
Still able to maintain. Yep, still able to maintain a strong position. So great driving there by Joey Doucette as we have reached lap 100. So 75 to go this time by your leader, Andrew Surwick, followed by Joey Doucette, Christopher Howell, Harley Barletta, and Zachary Allen in 5th.
Well, that's lap 102 in the books. Just 74 here to go at New Hampshire in the Tech4Troop's Loudon 175. I want to take this opportunity to thank all of our sponsors. That's Tech4Troop's, the 1111 Project, U-Haul, and EPI. That's Elite Performance Industries. They make and produce setups for iRacing. And information as to how to set up your car, and a great resource if you're interested in iRacing and you want to get a setup that works best for you. Check out EPI.
So, a few laps have passed by, so I gotta ask the question again. Any final answers? You better have them in soon. But who holds the record for the fastest lap in the Xfinity Series? This happened this past season. I have to say it is either Gibbs or Trevor Baynes. So if you guess one of those two guys, you are possibly correct. If you guessed Ty Gibbs, I would have to applaud you for your effort, but I have to say that is wrong. Trevor Baynes is correct. Retrowave Dave is spot on with some of these answers here tonight. Trevor Baynes holds the fastest lap at New Hampshire Motor Speedway in the Xfinity Series with a 30.7 that happened in the 2022 Crayon 200. So that is your track fact, and hopefully I won't have to use many more track facts because, Rick, I gotta tell you, I am running thin on some of these facts here tonight. So, and to make it clear, there is actually a quarter-mile dirt oval track here as well. So
I think you've been corrected by somebody, by Wildman. He's putting a qualifier to his response.
Correct.
Oh, we've got another
Correct.
caution.
We have a wreck. Oh goodness. Well, that makes my job difficult.
All right, looks like John Ledger and Luke Bullard may have been involved. Let's see what happened. Let's go to the replay. We're watching John Ledger here. Oh, it looks like you can see Luke Bullard in the 3. And unfortunately, he collects the 19. And that is a hard hit on the 19 of John Ledger. I'm not sure if he's got a quick repair left, but my guess is he is going to need it. Jeff Neeney is able to slip through on the outside of both the 19 and the 3. I think that 3's pit crew is going to be working overtime to get that car back up and running. Okay, lap 107. We've got 69 laps to go here at New Hampshire.
Yes, we do. And so, yes, Wildman, just to clarify, that is correct. These are going by race fastest laps, not qualifying and or practice. This is purely the race. So
you're seeing
that clarification.
Just putting it out there that you're seeing the 43 of Andrew Serwick and as well as the 14 of Mike Slagter making their way down onto pit road. That's also the 3 of Luke Bullard, who is in. I think John Ledger is also in as well. This is a good opportunity with 68 laps to go to get back onto pit road. I think they can do that. And really, with a fresh set of tires like you just saw Andrew put up, they could make it away, and that could be the last pit stop they need, but they may take one as time and cautions come out.
Right. Very true. Very true. We'll see what happens as we have 68 to go, and it looks like this could be the money stop for these guys, depending on how cautions fly. But as the race has gone on, we've noticed that these cautions haven't really gone away very much. So we'll see if that trend holds true. But yes, Wildman, you are correct. Going back to that answer, he was fast. Bain was fastest in practice, and Gibbs won qualifying, but those were race times. And so I have another tracked fact/question for you, and this is an interesting one. Who has the most pole positions here in the Cup Series at New Hampshire Motor Speedway? Who owns the record for the most poles? See if Mr. Dave can go 3 for 3. Actually, 4 for 4. Let me rephrase that, because he got that answer in Scott Dixon for the IndyCar. So, who owns the most poles here in the Cup Series?
I think that should get you dangerous right there, John.
I think so. I've got some ammunition coming my way, folks. So up here in the IWM Broadcast Network, we are getting pretty dangerous with our questions now. So if you know these and you are a true NASCAR fan, Wildman says Harvick. Okay, that's one answer. Harvick is strong here, I will have to say. Ryan Newman, Rocket Man for Castro. Same thing with Retro Wave Dave. Okay, so we have Harvick, we have Ryan Newman.
And we have the green flag about to drop here after the 9th caution of the evening. Joey Doucette is the control car, and we are back under green flag here at Loudon, New Hampshire. 65 laps to go. And the front 4 are, you guessed it, the 11-11 gang, followed by the 24 of Zachary Allen, Sean Shipman, Marco Berube, Jeff Nini, Pete Woodrum, and Andrew Serwick.
Here we go. The 88 is on the back door of that 11, looking to get his 3rd win on the season, making a late playoff push. As we see all of those average Joe Motorsport drivers, 1, 2, 3, 4, they're not average tonight. They are taking the field by storm here with 64 to go. Got a little bit of a stack up there in the back of the pack. As a 24 of Zachary Allen get a little bit loose. Here comes Mike Slacker to the inside of the 40. Contact between those two cars.
Definitely a battle for position. They're back in the middle of the field. You've got Andrew Serwick, who's making his way back up. He was leading. He stopped in and got fresh fuel and tires, so he's got cold tires on that 43.
Yes, he does.
Passing the 40 of Jeff Nini. working his way back up. That was 4th position. That is now 9th. And as he's working his way around the 24 of Zachary Allen, back there in the back.
All right, so the question was, who has the most poles in the Cup Series here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway? If you guessed Kevin Harvick, you're incorrect. If you said Ryan Newman, you are correct. Mr. Castro was on the point right before Mr. Retro Wave Dave was able to bring home another correct answer here. So yes, Ryan Newman owns the record for 7 poles here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So Retro Wave Dave, I gotta say you're pretty good, sir. I gotta say you're pretty spot on.
Well, he's got nothing better to do right now. He's just stuck in the car while his crew is working, trying to get it back in the race. Dave wasn't feeling well. He did the sportsmanship thing and kind of backed out, and we have the pleasure of having him join us watching this race. So we thank you for staying with us, Dave, and hope you feel a bit better. So.
Absolutely.
All right, so we are lap 116 of 175, 60 laps to go, and you're watching the 11-11 guys run 1, 2, 3, 4, and 10. Joey Doucette continues to show us the way. Christopher Howell in second, Ian Ogden in third, Harley Barletta in fourth, and Mike Slagter in fifth. Sean Shupin and Andrew Surwick is now in seventh. He's worked his way back up. It's like a bit of a cloud over our venue right now.
Yeah, just a little bit, Rick. And
yeah, that changes the temperature of the surface.
Right, and that should make for better racing conditions, a little bit more grip in these tires and in these cars. So we'll see if that affects it as we have 58 laps to go here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We want to thank everybody for tuning in to tonight's event. This is the second to last race for our Tech4Troop's Cup Series playoffs here at the Tech4Troop's Cup Series, brought to you by Tech4Troop's. If I haven't said that the last 3 times, Elite Performance Industries, as well as U-Haul and 1111 Veteran Project. Love having Tech4Troop's on board with us this season, and hopefully for many seasons to come here in the Cup Series. We have a pass with a lead about to take place. Christopher Howell's on the inside of the 11 machine. His teammate as the 14 of
Oh, and he loses it.
Goes around.
Right there in the middle of the field, they're all missing him. He's clear. Brett brings out our 10th caution of the night and gives Mr. Howell some flat spots on those tires. We should see him on pit road to get those tires changed.
Oh, you know he'll be coming down pit road for sure.
And you are correct. Clouds do equal speed. All right. Now, Chris Howell last pitted on lap 62 along with Joey Doucette. Ian Ogden was in on 59. So my guess is that this may be probably a good time for those. We may see the whole team come in. So.
Yeah, at this point, I would make my way down pit road, especially if I was the 88. I mean, those tires are definitely going to be screaming to be taken off the car, and here they come. Maybe, yes, 11 goes down, 21 goes down, but we have 43 staying out. We have 40 staying out. So some drivers.
Well, Andrew Surwick last pitted on lap 107, so there's no reason for him to stay in. That makes perfect sense. We're seeing the bulk of the field now in. You can see most of that 11-11 crew is now on pit road.
Once these guys make their way off the pit road, I will give you your
Those were pretty
question.
Quick pit stops by a few of those guys. So at lap 120, we saw Mike Slagter and John Ledger. They only came in and got fuel. And what is that?
Interesting.
Now that translates into position. So these guys come out and get, so we'll kind of figure out where that is now. That being said, Doucette, Ogden, Barletta, Shootman, Allen, Howell, and all came in for and got a full 4 tires and fuel. We got Marco Berube in. Pete Woodrum is now in. Evan Amick, I believe those were lap down cars. They're not getting serviced as well. So we've got a 54 lap shootout if this can stay green.
We'll see. We've had some green flag runs, but nothing too long tonight.
I think you're getting a question back, John.
Oh, interesting. What track was located at the location where the current Speedway is? Well, Mr. Dave, that is something that I actually, to be completely honest, I don't know. Does anybody else know? So I'm extending the question out to everybody else. Do you know what track was located where the current Speedway is? Rick, do you have any guesses?
I do, but I'm not going to put it out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, send it over to me over Facebook Messenger. See if so I could get a little bit of insight, because I have no clue. I can't even give you a guess. So, but that's the question. Thanks, Dave.
Yep, that may have been in our earlier bit of information in our briefing. All right, so here we are, lap 123 of 175, 53 laps to go. Hermas Castro said, can you make it? We believe they can make it on fuel and on tires based on our first round of pit stops, which occurred with these guys around lap 73.
We're getting down to the point in this race where it could be make or break, as we have a green flag out right now as Serwick takes the lead. Mike Slafter in second, Jeff Denis in third. This is a make or break point for these drivers, especially for Serwick. If he could pull out and maybe get some strong track position, as I mentioned before, he could possibly pull away from this field.
So do you want to give the correct answer and give the right answer to what was the track before?
Yes, I will actually. So, the track that was located at the location where the current Speedway is was previously Breyer Motorsports Park. I believe that track, if my memory serves correctly, a little bit of time racing, almost 3 wide, was around between the 60s to the early 80s or 90s, I believe.
Yep, Bob Baer actually purchased that complex originally in 1989.
Yep, so time frame was correct. Oh, Jeff Denis a little loose.
So we're going to go ahead and, John, and bring Jeff back, Jason back. I think Jason's got a selection now for who is going to win his Tech4Troop's skirmish.
Yeah, absolutely, I do. And I was just texting with Mark Casper, the CEO of Tech4Troop's, and the guy, the face of it that you see in all those professional commercials. And we were talking about how far the racers have come, and just this season. And so lest you guys think you are racing in a void, you are not. I think most of the employees at Tech4Troop's watch either this airing, or we do a rebroadcast of the race, usually on Fridays. So we are watching, talking, and it's been really neat to see the whole thing progress. And then even more so in the paint schemes, I have a few picks. Actually, I love the number 24 car, Mr. Allen's. He just won week before last, so just going to say how much I like it. I'm going to go on to the number 14 car is great. Mr. Slagter, I believe. I don't know
Yep,
if I
you are
pronounced
correct.
it
You
right.
did. Yep.
I like the design. I'm a big fan. But today is going to go to Bostic. I'm blanking on the number of the car, but I really love the throwback to the Cars movie. I think that's very funny, and I like the way the white rims kind of pop out. So he's going to be the winner of this week's Tech4Troop's Scheme Skirmish on the Speedway. That sweet loot, that $5 Amazon gift card.
All right, very good. So that's Ty Bostic in the 22 winning our Tech4Troop's paint skirmish here at Loudon.
It's a pleasure as always, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jason.
For sure. Yep, congratulations to Mr. Bostic out of Rockingham, North Carolina, for running that Dynaco throwback scheme. Love that car, love that movie. So congratulations there, Mr. Bostic. You are $5 richer. And on Amazon, you never know how far they can get you. But looking right now, Andrew Surwick is under some heat. Whoa, 14's a little sideways as well.
Andrew Surwick is currently leading the Tech4Troop's Loudon 175 with 45 laps to go. This is lap 131. 132 as he crossed the start-finish line. We did have a single car accident a few moments ago with Pete Woodrum, but no caution was brought out. We stayed green. He's definitely got some pressure now by the 11 car of Joey Doucette, who has dipped out under. Now those guys have 13 laps of fresher tires. And you can really hear.
Go ahead.
So you can really hear how much they have to get out of the throttle.
Oh yeah, I mean they are getting out of the throttle very early, and you can't get back in. You can't slam on the gas because of these corners. I mean, these corners are just brutal on stabbing the throttle, so you got to ease into it. Brittany Bullard says, "Let's go Bullard." Retrowave Dave says, "Nice choice on the paint scheme," and Donna says, "Way to go, Ty." So great job for Ty on that, winning that award, and Bullard is now all the way back up to P6. So we'll see what Mr. Luke can do here as the race progresses.
So Don had earlier mentioned that both Ty Bostic, Luke Bullard, and Zachary Allen all are out there representing Richmond County, North Carolina tonight. So that's a bunch of local boys. I am actually in Union County, North Carolina, so yeah, all about that. So yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, and I'm a big fan of North Carolina. I have some family over there, so love the state. Wish I could visit it more.
All right, so Joey Doucette now shows us the way. He's jumped out to a pretty good lead, about almost a full second over second place Andrew Surwick. The 21 of Ian Ogden is knocking on the door behind the second place of Andrew, trying to get by him, and the 88 is trying to slip back under the 14 of Mike Slagter.
It looks like he does as the 21 pushes up the track, trying to get around the 43 of Surwick, and is able to do that. So Ian Ogden up to P2, looking to get his first victory of the season.
All right, that pack of 6 cars has got about a full second lead over the next group. That is Bullard, Allen, Barletta, Shupman. And as you can see by the track map, pretty much they're all about, really there's cars around the entire track at this stage. The one of Pete Woodrum is the last car on the lead lap, and that will be soon in Joey Doucette's sight. He's got about 5 or 6 seconds ahead, but they're catching up, so. We can take this opportunity.
Go ahead.
Well, we're going to take this opportunity to jump back to our last commercial break of the night. This will be just going side by side, folks. You won't miss a moment of the action. We will be right back.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech4Troop's, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce. We want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
Hello, my name is Amanda, and I support Tech4Troop's.
All right, welcome back, and guess what? We have our 11th caution of the night. That caution was brought out. Let's bring that back up. Just see what brought out our caution. I think it has to do with Luke Bullard. Let's try to, oh, yep, there we go. Let's try to back that up.
Luke, such a good run going.
All right, let's play that. You know, that's actually admirable. You saw what happened there. He was running his line, but at the same time, the 14 was right there. And instead of making contact, which had been the easy way to make that happen, he chose to dive in. Oh, it upset his car.
What a job drifting. I mean, if there's a drift award of the evening, that's going to go to Luke right there.
And for
great job
keeping it off the racing surface. Absolutely.
Yeah, so hate to see that. And, you know, what that brings is that brings everybody down pit road, which put Ty Bostic to the lead. With 34 to go, we'll see who is going to be the leader once these cars get back up. And yes, Castro, you're right. This is the money stop. I think this could be the stop of the race where you may see some pretty crazy action getting back up on the track here soon.
Well, the one thing to consider here is Bostic and Bullard, who are now on top of the leaderboard, they did not pit. They came down last at 121 and lap 120, which means both of those cars on 20 laps of older tires will be out front.
Wow. How crazy is that? We'll see how that plays out because
it may be a good strategy. We'll see.
It could be. I mean, if we get a lot of cautions back to back to back, that track position out front could pay dividends. But Rick, it's a caution, which means I have a question. So, this is regarding a record for most laps led at New Hampshire. So, do you know which driver holds the record for the most laps led at New Hampshire without a win? If you have watched any kind of NASCAR race, this answer actually makes a lot of sense. So, which driver has led the most laps at New Hampshire without having a win? Go. Put your responses or put your guesses in the chat. And Retrowave Dave says, I think they're going to get run over. Well, you never know. I mean, it's New Hampshire. They may be able to stay out front for a few laps. We'll see. They may be, I don't know. I mean, cautions can come out. We'll see.
Yeah, but if this was a mile and a half?
That is correct, Castro and Cup. That's true. Mile and a half, yep.
If this was a mile and a half, Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And yes, Castro, this is in the Cup Series.
All right, lights are off on the pace car. That means we're about to go back to green momentarily. With just 32 laps to go, we thank you for tuning in to the Tech4Troop's Cup Series event here at Loudon, brought to you by our IWM Broadcast Network. We appreciate you, and we appreciate you watching.
Ready. 22's out front with Boot Bullardo's outside. Green flag is out. Inside lane gets a big jump. Outside lane is stalled up. 31 laps to go.
Wide.
3 wide. Alrighty, the action has started, folks. Here we go. It is a dogfight now. Here comes Luke Bullard back to the high side. We got some action going on. Got a lot of beating and banging going on in the middle of the pack with Slatker and the AJM boys. But Ty Bostic leads that lap. 30 to go here at New Hampshire. Almost 3 wide again. There's Jeff Nene riding that high line. Got some contact between some drivers. A lot going on right now, Rick.
There sure is, and it's all the way back in the field as these guys are trying to work their way back up to the front. The 11-11 guys have got a lot of traffic to work their way back up through. That's Serwick and Allen, Ogden and Barletta, Howell, all mixing it up there as they try to chase down Ty Bostic and Luke Bullard. Joey Doucette has made his way around those guys. Is now out in front 3 wide. I could have sworn I saw 4 wide there for a moment.
Yeah, 2 wide barely works. 3 wide is a nightmare. 4 wide, you're just
no bueno.
Living on a prayer at that point. But right now, Joey Doucette is checking out from the rest of the field, already over to a second gap on second place. Close to a second there at least. As we have 3 wide, and then a wreck in the back. The 99 gets spun by Jeff Nene.
Let's go back and take a look at that. Oh, yeah. And you know what? In Jeff Nene's, I think, defense, let me just back that up a little bit. You can see him hard on the brakes. I think he just was pushing bad.
Yep. A little too hot into the corner.
Yep. He overdrove that corner, didn't hit his breaking point there, and unfortunately collected a victim of circumstance, and that's the 99 of Marco Berube. So before we jump on to our next question, we still need to answer that last one.
Yeah, so I may have needed to been a little bit more specific on the question. So this is not talking about a single race. Well, I guess I'm kind of confused by the answer because Jeff Gordon was actually the answer to a previous question about who won the first race, which was Jeff Gordon. The question was who holds the record for most laps led in the cumulative sense at New Hampshire without winning. So who's been out front that has never brought home a win? And that answer is Martin Truex Jr., who has led 744 laps at New Hampshire without a victory. So, Retrowave Dave, I'm a Gordon fan too, but Gordon was not the correct answer. And Castro, it was not Carl Edwards. So, Truex, it kind of seems that way with Truex lately, right, Rick? It seems like he can find his way out front, but just never can seal the deal.
He winds up now that old phrase of always a bridesmaid, never a bride. That's the way it seemed to be this last season, just struggling. And it's almost when you look at some interviews and you hear it, you just get a feeling that his heart wasn't in it at some points.
Correct. And I don't know if you know much about his story, but he's gone through a lot emotionally with him and his family, and
Yeah.
specifically his wife. So I mean, there's a lot going on there that can take a toll on a driver. So I don't blame him for the situation and how he's felt, but it definitely does. You're correct. It seems like sometimes it's just it doesn't seem like it's in him, which he's a great driver. He wouldn't be in the Cup Series if he wasn't a good driver. I mean, he's won many races. So I think 2023 will be a bounce back year for him. I think he's going to find success, especially with how close he has come to winning this previous season. Now with how viable the Toyota is, I don't know. I mean, he's in a Toyota. I'm not mistaken. He's in a Toyota, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So with Toyota's issues, they got to figure that out. But yeah, Martin Truex Jr. has led 744 laps here at New Hampshire without a victory. So that brings me to my next question. When was Hendrick Motorsports' last win here at New Hampshire? Well, more specifically, what driver was the last driver to win for Hendrick Motorsports here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway? I'm not giving any hints. You have to know this one straight up. No hints for this question.
All right, 24 laps to go here at Loudon. This is our 12th caution. Lights are off on top of our pace car. We're about to go back to green here. We have
24 laps to go.
15 cars on the lead lap. Those guys that were down have figured out a way to get back on the lead lap.
It's that time, Rick. It's crunch time. We'll see who's able to prevail here late in the race. Could we have a first-time winner? Could we see a four-time winner? Who knows? But it's going to all unfold right now. Pace car drops down, and green flag is out. 24, now 23 to go. And Joey Doucette takes the lead from his AJM teammate Ian Ogden in second.
Andrew Serwick is down on the low line. A wreck. He looks like Christopher Howell hard into the wall. Caution has not come out.
No, it looks like everybody's able to keep their cars going in the right direction. Wow, what a hard hit by Chris. So that knocks out one of your top victors this season, Chris Howell, with 2 wins. Don't know if he's able to get anything done here. As we have 3 wide racing in the back. You have the 24 going up the 3 wide. Here comes the 14 now. A lot of action going on back here in this pack.
I don't know what the current status is of that 88 machine. Whether he's got some toe link damage and has to come back down for repairs.
It's not good. It's not looking good, Rick.
Yep, he's going to come down. Oh, careful on speed, but looks like Chris Howell's going to need to get a quick repair done to get that car back on the track. It's unfortunate. Pit road speed is 45 miles an hour.
Oh, we got a wreck. Zachary Allen in the inside wall. Hard hit to the inside.
Caution has not come out.
Caution's not out yet. Caution is not out, and it's still not out. He is going in the right direction. Hard impact into the inside wall. I mean, very vicious impact.
We're watching the replay right now. Contact.
Lifts that car completely off the ground, and he's taking that access road all the way back to pit road. See if he's able to make it. He's in the grass right now. He made it back around.
Unfortunate for a couple of our drivers here. The caution has not come out with 19 laps to go. Christopher Howell is now a lap down.
And so what that does is look at the long line of drivers behind Mr. Doucette. You have Ogden looking for his first win. Shootman looking for a win. Serwick looking for a win. Ledger looking for a win. And 12, and Wildman says he gives up. His answer was Bodine. So, no, it wasn't Bodine. It was Casey Kane. Oh, Jeff Denise back up the track, into the wall, still into the wall. No caution.
It's
hard impact.
It's pointed in the right direction. That's about all I can say at this point. He is still going around, but there is significant right front damage on that car. I'm not quite sure how he's making it around.
Yeah, he had almost the same impact on the opposite side of the car as the 24 Zachary Allen did. Here comes Jeff down pit road.
I hope he's got a quick repair. He's going to need it.
Yes, he will. He definitely will. And right now, it looks like we have 3 AJM drivers up in first. Or do we?
We have
on
Ian.
The board.
Well, Christopher Howell has been able to get around his teammates and is now back on the lead lap.
He has, but that 21 or that front running car
is Joey Doucette in the 11.
Okay, and then unless am I seeing like triple or something? Because I am not hold on. Who's that front car right there in front of the 11? Is that the 88 of Howell?
Yes. Yeah, he's back on the lead lap.
That's why I was confused. I was like, what in the world's going on? Am I seeing, is there like a duplicate out there or a triple car or the AJM drivers? No, that was Christopher Howell. So yes, you were correct, which means the 11 is out front with the 21 behind him in second and the 43 in third. So those are your top 3 on the screen right now. I was getting confused about the cars on the track, but I have gotten back on to the right schedule. But right now, you see that 43 going to the high line. That's the preferred line that I would particularly run myself if I was at this track. I love this track. I find that you will have the most tire saving on that strategy, running that mid to high lane, getting your wheels up into that second groove, sort of diamonding the corner. Corner exit will be a little bit of a struggle, though, out of 2 if you're not high enough, which you can see right there. The 43 lost a lot of ground on the second place position of the 21. But we have a caution out right now, Rick, with 13 to go. Oh,
That's
no.
Pete Woodrum. Similar, we've seen this all night. Unfortunately, that collects the 99 of Marco Berube. That's coming out of turn 2. Not terribly hard, but certainly enough to bring out that caution.
It sure is. It sure is, Rick.
Okay. 12 laps to go. By the time we're done with this caution, we will be with less than 10 laps to go. You are right, Mr. Castro. We have seen the 99. He has been the victim of circumstance on more than one occasion here tonight at New Hampshire.
He has, and that's unfortunate because he's a great driver, and sometimes you're the bug, and sometimes you're the windshield. So it happens, and hopefully next week it'll be better for that machine. But 11 laps to go, 13th caution, which means I have another question. So which manufacturer in the Cup Series has dominated in laps led over the past 7 races, leading 1,600 laps in that span, opposed to 425 by manufacturer 2 and 66 by manufacturer 3. So which manufacturer has led the most laps out of any manufacturer of the last 7 races in the Cup Series, with leading 1,600 laps? So let me know what your thoughts are. We have an answer that says Toyota by Castro. Okay, interesting. You only have 3 choices, so you have a 33% chance of getting it right. So if you're a gambling man, just take your chances. See what happens. Rick, 10 laps to go. Where do you want to be in this lineup? Do you want to be on the front row? Do you want to be in row 2? Where would you like to be in this situation as we are nearing down possibly to the last restart?
Oh, I want to be up front. There's no question. There's going to be a lot of desperation at positions 3, 4, 5, and 6, especially those trying to get some more points to move up, especially if you are on the bubble. So you've got Andrew Serwick sitting 3rd. He's going to be right behind that control car. There's a lot of drama that's going to take place. I would want to be out front to avoid as much potential carnage as possible, especially by the time we take this green flag. There will be 8 laps to go. We'll come back under 9, and so lap 8 we'll start our last 8 laps. So
we just got 1 to go from the flag man and race control, so we will get 8 laps here at New Hampshire to decide the winner. Right now, you have Joey Doucette out front, but don't look too far behind him. There are 7, 8, 9 drivers looking for their first win. 8 to 9 drivers looking for their first win that are in the top 10. So, can anybody burst the bubble of Joey Doucette in the season he's had on this season? But right now, we have 4 separate answers on this last question. Toyota, Ford, Chevy, and then that Toyota Camaro Mustang vehicle.
There are 13 cars still on the lead lap. Pace car is off. And we are back underway here at Loudon for potentially the end of this race. It's an 8-lap shootout to the end. And Joey Doucette jumps out to front, followed right behind by the 21 of Ian Ogden. Andrew Serwick is right there in 3rd. He's got the 3 of Luke Bullard right on his tail.
Yep, this is it. This is the money part of the race. Look at that 43 on the high side, pushing it in there. He's trying to get that run. He keeps it up there. He's able to do it. Had to slow down because he had such a big of a run up on that 11 machine. Here we go down into turn 1. 4 cars under a blanket for the lead. Serwick up on the high side. You see that 21 on the inside line trying to get his teammate a little bit loose. He's like, hey, teammate, I want to get a win.
Little contact further back.
Yes, there has been. There's
21 turns a little bit the 43, but he saves it. The 43 of Serwick, he saves it and continues in 2nd place.
What a save by that 43 machine of Andrew Serwick. I mean, that was absolutely incredible that car did not go around. Now 6 to go. Can he get it done? Serwick on the outside looking into the playoffs. More than likely needs to get a victory to bring over. The 3 is now drifting into turn 3 and 4. Oh, the 22 sideways. Well, call it dirt
contact again.
Big
wreck.
Yep.
That's a 37 of Sean Shootman going around.
And alrighty. 5 to go, Rick. I think that's going to mean a green-white checker.
Let's go back and take a look at the 37. Let's see what happens here. Oh, 37 runs up, and let's just double check that to be sure. Looks like he drifts up and contacts the 3. Well, I think they are both looking for the same real estate, and unfortunately, he doors the 88 of Christopher Howell.
Yep, that's just unfortunate there for the 37 machine, because it was tight racing, and at that point in time, it's almost like, what are you going to do? You know, you're up there battling, and sometimes, like I said, sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield. And
yep, I think the 81 was also involved with, that's Harley Barletta. Watch him come on the outside here. So he hits the 88, he hits the 81 twice. Lots of carnage, folks.
If that 81 was looking for a victory, and right now, as it stands, that 81 all the way back in 8th, trying to get that first victory on the season. He needs it. Right now, Jeff Deneen making his way around, going to get his lap back as a lucky dog. But Rick, with 3 to go, it's all on the line now. It's green, white, checkered. You've got to put yourself in a position to win. And right now, if you're Joey Doucette, I'd be worried about the guys behind him. With how this race has gone, we've seen a lot of contact. And the way that this track is run, a lot of people run different lines, different braking points, different throttle controls, different braking controls. So even though you may expect the driver in front of you to brake at a specific time, it may not happen in the way that you need. You may actually run to the back of the driver in front of you. So this could go any particular way. I can't even pick a winner. But what I do know is the answer to the last question. So, no, Dave, it wasn't that Toyota Camaro Mustang vehicle. No, Wildman, it wasn't a Ford. Bobby, it wasn't a Chevy. It was a Toyota. So Castro, looking right there, we're actually looking at a Toyota of the 11 of Joey Doucette. Toyota has led 1,600 laps out of 1,600 laps total in the last 7 races compared to their manufacturing counterparts of Ford, who has led 425 laps, and only 66 laps led by a Chevrolet. So, if you're a betting man, I wouldn't bet on any Chevy drivers to win here at New Hampshire. So there's that question. And I gotta throw another one out there. This is even a more difficult question. 11 of the last 12 race winners at New Hampshire are Cup Series champion. The lone exception being which driver? This driver won in 2017. There is your hint, and there is your question. Which driver out of the last 12 was not a champion to win at New Hampshire? It's kind of a crazy statistic to think, too, Rick, that previous Cup champions have won 11 out of the last 12.
Crazy.
That just shows you what that means there. So right now, Rick, we are getting a green, white, checkered, and on the inside line, that's the way to go on the restart. But that 43 has been strong.
All right, pace car. The lights are off on top of the pace car. We are almost ready to go back. We do have 14 cars back on the lead lap. .43 of Andrew Serwick on the outside of Joey Doucette. Joey was our pole sitter and has led most of the laps here tonight, but he's definitely got some competition with Andrew Serwick on the outside and Mike Slagner sitting back and forth.
Here we go. Green flag is out, and look at that field. They're all the way to the middle of the bottom side of the track. Here they go, making their way back up. But Joey Doucette is out front here with 2 to go. Tight racing for first and second between Serwick and Ogden. They're battling off the corner. Here we go.
Hoping to hang on with a clean race and get all the way around and take that white flag.
Here we go. It's going to be tight racing. Coming to the white flag. White flag is out. Next flag ends the race. Serwick looking for his first victory of the season. Will we see an aggressive move out of the 43 machine?
3 wide in the back. Contact between the 14 and the 3. Oh, 22 spins. 22 is off the racing surface. No caution is going to happen. It's the final lap. Joey Doucette's leading them down. 43 of Andrew Serwick behind.
Not going to get it, but Joey Doucette brings home his 4th victory of the season with Serwick in second. And Ian Ogden in third. And a big wreck down in the turn 1.
That's Bostic, Nini. I think there's just a number of guys who just let it all go. So,
also, the answer to that question was Denny Hamlin.
Retro Wave Dave. All right. That marks the end of our Tech4Troop's Loudon 175. Your winner, Joey Doucette. We're waiting for our final race results to come up. Here we go.
And there is Mr. Doucette bringing home the victory tonight in P1 for Average Joe Motorsports. He is looking to be a strong championship contender with now 1 race to go. He has up to 4 victories on the season. In second, a much-needed points day for Andrew Surwick, with Ian Ogden in third, Mike Slatker in fourth, Luke Bullard in fifth, John Ledger in sixth, Evan Amick with a strong 7th-place finish, John Shootman in 8th, Marco Berube in 9th, and rounding out your top 10 is Harley Barletta.
Pete Woodrum is in 11th, Ty Bostic in 12th, Jeff Needy in 13th, Chris Howell in 14th, Zach Allen in 15th, David Watts in 16th, and Bobby Gibson in 17th. Look at the finish. It was just 0.2 of a second where Joey Doucette ekes out that battle he's been having lap after lap with Andrew Surwick. We should have all 3 of those drivers in our booth. In fact, I believe we can bring in Ian Ogden right now. Ian, congratulations. Welcome to the broadcast booth. That was a hard-fought 3rd place.
Yeah, it was a good race for me. A lot of up and down, but I'll definitely take being back in the broadcast booth. It's been a while.
Absolutely, we're glad to have you. And so that restart, of course, there was a lot of late-breaking cautions there, but certainly there was a little bit of contact with you and Andrew there.
You talking about on the final restart there, Rick?
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
Oh, well, was there? I didn't mean to, if there was. Well, I'll have to go back and take a look at it.
Nope,
if I did, I'll have to apologize to Andrew.
No, I absolutely completely understand. So, unfortunately, Andrew is not going to be able to join us in the booth tonight. He does not have a working mic. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So,
I'll have to go back and take a look at it.
Double checking it. I don't think it was intentional. I think it was just hard racing between you and Andrew. Whether it was that restart or the previous restart, it was definitely hard fought.
For sure. Yeah, it was a good race. I mean, a lot of guys that were swapping spots up front. I mean, I feel like tonight there was in the top 5. There was a lot of guys that we don't normally see in the top 5 that had really good runs. And just had some bad luck or something come their way. But I'll take a 3rd, that's for sure.
Sure. Yeah, I know for sure. You ran a great race and a solid points day. And I'm curious, we have 1 race to go until the playoffs. You're sitting right now after this race, not quite sure, but with a solid points day, you're for sure going to be at least 8th or above in points. We have Talladega coming up next week. The big question mark. So what is your mentality? What are your thoughts going in to the last race of the season at Talladega?
It was really good to bounce back today. It's been a rough couple weeks, points-wise. I had to miss most of Darlington, racing another race. And then last week I had some issues. So, at Talladega, we've got, I think, 5 guys in the team that are going to be running it. Myself, Chris, Joey, Harley, John, and if Travis makes it back, I think that makes 6. So, having that group of teammates will be really great. I think that we'll be able to utilize, draft with each other and, use that as best we can to have good points days for everybody, because I think myself and Harley are pretty close to the cutoff. Any
shout outs tonight, Ian?
Yeah. Obviously all my teammates. I just mentioned them. 1111 Veteran Project, Racing for Heroes. New Mission Motorsports is a new guy I've been helping out. They're a veteran Twitch stream that donate all their money to veteran causes, organizations, and veterans in need as well. So them as well. And just, I did want to just kind of make a mention. If you guys are going through anything, if anybody is going through anything, it doesn't matter. Reach out to somebody. If it's the national hotline or it's your buddy down the road, whatever it is, just reach out to somebody. I've had some family crisis this week that's really been on my mind quite a bit. And, it was really good to get back on the sim and just have a good run. So if you
That's-
guys, like I said, if anybody's needing somebody to talk to, hell, reach out to me. I'll talk. I'm a veteran myself, been through a lot of guys that I know that have committed suicide, and a lot of people close to me have either tried to commit suicide or have successfully committed suicide. So, if you want to reach out, reach out.
Gotcha. Strong words and certainly appreciated. All right, well, I'm going to bring Mr. Doucette in. He's our winner into the booth. Hang on, Ian. Stay with us.
Absolutely.
Joey, congratulations on that win. You were battling since the first lap.
Oh, man, I'm exhausted.
And just to let you know, Ian's in the booth here tonight with you as well.
Yep, I see that.
So
Oh, man.
I have just to throw. I have seen that you have won the 1111 Vets Project Cleanest Driver Award for this race, and Evan Amick won the Hard Charger Award for tonight. So we'll put those two awards out there.
Yep. Oh, I'm just trying to catch my breath, guys.
Well, that was 2 hours, 2 hours, 20 minutes of racing here at New Hampshire. It is not an easy track.
It's not. It's flat. It's a tough track to keep your car underneath you. This is my home track, so a win here I never thought would be possible because I'm really not good here. I did put a lot of practice in. It showed it tonight, and I was there all night. I just sucks. Chris got involved in some stuff. John early, Harley. It just we were originally running 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I think a caution came out, and then it spread us apart, and we were all on different strategy on that last pit stop, and then the cautions just kept on coming. Like when I got into the lead and past Ty, and then it was caution after caution. And I'm holding these guys, and then Ty goes in and Luke goes in to get their last set of tires, and then it was caution. They were catching up, and I'm like, are my old tires going to hold them off? And thank God it did.
It did, and you did a great job tonight, Joe. 4 wins on the season. You're looking to be one of the top championship favorites. So I asked Ian this same question. What is your mentality going into Talladega, into the last race of the season? Now you have the points lead. Really, no matter what happens going into the championship race, nobody else can tie you on wins. So, well, let me rephrase that. Not anybody can tie you on wins. You have one driver that could, which would be the number, or that would be Hermes Castro. But what is your mentality going into one of the most chaotic tracks on the circuit in the last race of the season?
Being patient and waiting for anything in front of you to, come about. If any, just save the car for the end. And I'm going for debuts. I mean, if you're not racing for debuts and you're, why are you racing? This is about, you're going for a championship. One win from any of these guys that don't have a win, they're in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
I mean, so you got to go for the win. And for me, I'd like to extend my point lead. I'd like to get another win. I mean, just going into the playoffs to get more